As December 2025 begins, the UK is buzzing with talk of a possible snowpocalypse. Memories of past severe winters and the chaos they brought are fueling anxiety. Will this be the year everything grinds to a halt? Headlines warn of extreme weather, but what's the real science behind the hype? With unusual global weather patterns at play, it's time to separate fact from fiction and see what the evidence really says. Let's dig into the forecasts, the history, and what we can actually do to prepare for whatever this winter brings. To predict what kind of winter we might experience, we need to look far beyond our own backyards and turn our attention to the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. This immense body of water, stretching thousands of miles across the globe, acts as a powerful engine for the planet's climate. Subtle changes in its surface temperatures can ripple outward, influencing weather patterns on continents far away, including right here in the UK. Right now, meteorologists are closely watching a rare phenomenon, a triple dip La Niña. This means that for 3 consecutive years, cooler-than-average waters have persisted in the eastern Pacific. Such a prolonged event is unusual, and it's capturing the attention of climate scientists around the world, as it has the potential to shape global weather in unexpected ways. La Niña works by cooling the eastern Pacific, which in turn shifts the balance of global weather patterns. One of the most significant impacts is on the jet stream, a fast-moving ribbon of air high above the Earth that acts like a conveyor belt for weather systems. When La Niña is active, it can push the jet stream off its usual course, altering the flow of storms and cold air across the northern hemisphere, including the UK. This is now the 3rd winter in a row with La Niña conditions, a rare triple dip event. Typically, La Niña comes and goes within a year or two, but this extended run can amplify or disrupt the usual seasonal trends. It's a bit like rolling the dice 3 times in a row and getting the same number each time, statistically rare and potentially game-changing for weather patterns. In North America, La Niña often brings colder, snowier winters to the northern states and Canada, while the southern regions may see drier, warmer conditions. Cities like Chicago or Minneapolis might brace for heavier snowfalls, while ski resorts in the Rockies can look forward to a bumper season. These impacts are well documented and can be dramatic, affecting everything from agriculture to travel. But for Europe, and especially the UK, the effects of La Niña are more subtle. Rather than dramatic shifts, it's more like a gentle nudge to the atmosphere, a slight increase in the odds of certain weather patterns, rather than a guarantee. We might see a few more chilly spells, or perhaps a run of milder, wetter days, but the changes are often less pronounced than those seen across the Atlantic. The key player here is the jet stream. Its position and strength can mean the difference between Arctic air plunging southward, bringing snow and ice, or milder Atlantic air sweeping in, leading to rain and gray skies. La Niña can influence where the jet stream sets up shop, but it's not the only factor at play. Other atmospheric forces are also in the mix. Meteorologists see La Niña as just one piece of a much larger and more complex puzzle. It interacts with other climate drivers, such as the North Atlantic Oscillation and sudden stratospheric warming events, each adding their own twist to the forecast. Predicting the outcome is a challenge, requiring careful analysis and a bit of educated guesswork. This triple-dip La Niña adds an extra layer of uncertainty to the outlook for the coming winter. It sets the stage for surprises, perhaps an unexpected cold snap, or a stretch of unseasonably mild weather. The only thing that's certain is that the atmosphere is primed for change, and we'll be watching closely to see what unfolds. So, the big question remains, will this rare triple-dip La Niña tip the balance toward a harsh, snowy UK winter, or will other atmospheric forces win out and keep things milder? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. This winter's story is still being written, and the Pacific Ocean is holding the pen. Despite the La Niña buzz, top forecasting models like ECMWF and the UK Met Office predict a milder, less snowy winter for most of the UK. Both models show below normal snowfall, with only a slight chance of more snow in the south. The main snow action is expected further north, over Scandinavia, but forecasts are about probabilities, not guarantees. Mild trends don't rule out cold snaps or surprise snow. The atmosphere can still deliver shocks, even when the models lean mild. These forecasts are a guide, not a promise. So, while a snowpocalypse isn't likely, we can't rule out a few dramatic moments. Boston's 2015 snow disaster is a stark reminder. Even prepared cities can be overwhelmed by extreme weather. In just 3 weeks, over 7 feet of snow buried the city, crippling transport and causing over $1 billion in damage. The public transport system failed, roofs collapsed, and the National Guard was called in. Boston's experience shows that infrastructure has limits, and when those are breached, chaos follows. The UK, with less snow-ready infrastructure, could face even greater disruption in a similar event. The lesson: don't underestimate winter, no matter what the forecast says. Robust plans are essential, even for rare disasters. Beyond the daily weather forecasts and the usual seasonal predictions, there are powerful atmospheric forces that can completely upend expectations. These are the wild cards of winter, and two of the most influential are the polar vortex and the jet stream. These dynamic systems operate high above our heads, often out of sight and mind, but their impact can be felt across entire continents, sometimes with little warning. The polar vortex and jet stream can flip the script on winter weather overnight, transforming a calm, mild spell into a period of intense cold or even a snowstorm. Their unpredictable nature is what makes them so fascinating and so important to understand. The polar vortex is essentially a vast, persistent mass of extremely cold air that sits over the Arctic, swirling counterclockwise like a giant icy hurricane. It acts as a barrier, keeping the coldest air trapped near the pole during much of the winter. But when the polar vortex weakens or becomes unstable, that frigid air can escape and spill southward, plunging regions like the UK into sudden, severe cold snaps. These events can catch people off guard, leading to dangerous conditions and widespread disruption. The jet stream, on the other hand, is a fast-moving river of air that flows high in the atmosphere, snaking its way around the globe. It acts as a steering current for weather systems, guiding storms and cold air masses toward or away from the UK. When the jet stream is strong and flows in a relatively straight path, it tends to keep weather patterns moving quickly, preventing any one system from lingering too long. But when it slows down, becomes wavy, or gets blocked, it can trap cold air and storms over one area for days at a time. A wavy or blocked jet stream can lead to prolonged periods of cold, snow, or even flooding depending on where the waves set up. This is why some winters feel endless, with one storm after another, while others pass by with barely a flurry. When these patterns lock in, communities can experience days or even weeks of persistent cold and snow, making travel hazardous and putting extra strain on infrastructure. Occasionally, dramatic events like sudden stratospheric warming can disrupt both the polar vortex and the jet stream at once. These rare but powerful shifts can send shockwaves through the atmosphere, increasing the risk of extreme cold outbreaks far from the Arctic. When this happens, emergency services are often put on high alert, and communities must brace for the possibility of severe winter weather, even if the season started out mild. Adding another layer of complexity, the quasi-biennial oscillation, a regular shifting of winds high in the stratosphere, can influence the strength of the polar vortex. Right now, it's favoring a weaker vortex, which means the odds of cold air breaking free and heading south are higher than usual. That's why it's so important to stay alert and keep an eye on weather updates, especially during the heart of winter. Even if the forecast looks calm, these wild cards can change everything in a matter of hours. So even when you're enjoying a mild winter day, don't let your guard down. The atmosphere is full of surprises and conditions can shift rapidly. A sudden blizzard or a sharp drop in temperature can arrive with little warning, catching commuters and communities off guard and turning routine days into challenging ones. The key is to keep watching the skies and stay informed, because in the world of weather, rapid changes are always possible, and being prepared can make all the difference. New York's recent surprise snowstorm proves that even a mild forecast can't rule out local extremes. Just before Thanksgiving 2025, a lake-effect snowstorm dumped up to 20 inches, driven by a perfect mix of cold air, warm lakes, and a wobbly jet stream. Travel was paralyzed and the storm hit right before a major holiday. The lesson? Several moderate factors can combine into a severe event, fast. The UK's own sea-effect snow can strike if cold air sweeps over the North Sea. Even in a mild winter, the right ingredients can create a sudden, disruptive snowstorm. Complacency is not an option. When a severe snowstorm strikes the UK, it doesn't just bring a picturesque winter scene, it exposes the deep vulnerabilities in our daily lives and the systems we rely on. The snow may look beautiful from above, but on the ground, it can quickly turn dangerous, disrupting the very fabric of our communities. Roads and railways, the arteries of our nation, can grind to a halt in a matter of hours. Drivers find themselves trapped in endless queues, unable to move forward or turn back. Commuters waiting for trains are left stranded on platforms, as snow and ice bring the entire transport network to a standstill. Emergency vehicles struggle to reach those in need, and deliveries of food and medicine are delayed, compounding the crisis. Power lines, already stretched by winter demand, are at risk from the weight of heavy snow and fierce winds. When these lines fail, entire neighborhoods can be plunged into darkness and cold. Utility workers brave treacherous conditions to restore power, but repairs can take hours or even days, leaving thousands without heat or light. For the elderly, people with disabilities, and those with chronic health conditions, the loss of heat and electricity isn't just uncomfortable, it can be life-threatening. Cold homes increase the risk of hypothermia and other serious health issues. Paramedics and carers face immense challenges reaching those most at risk, as snow blocks roads and slows response times. Unlike cities like Boston, where snow is a regular part of winter and infrastructure is built to cope, the UK's systems are less robust. Our roads, railways, and power grids are simply not designed for prolonged or heavy snowfall, making us even more susceptible to chaos and disruption when the weather turns severe. In these moments, protecting vulnerable people becomes the top priority. Checking on neighbors, especially those who live alone or have limited mobility, can make all the difference. Community volunteers often step in to deliver essential supplies, ensuring that no one is left isolated or without help during the worst of the storm. Preparing for a major snowstorm isn't just about having enough grit and snowplows on hand. It requires coordinated action across transport, energy, and health services. Emergency teams must work together, sharing information and resources to keep people safe and services running. The risk of catastrophic failure is real. That's why planning ahead, developing contingency plans, running emergency drills, and investing in resilient infrastructure is absolutely critical. Only by working together and preparing in advance can we hope to weather the storm and protect those most at risk. So, how do we prepare? It starts with strong national contingency plans and stress testing our systems for worst-case scenarios. Transport agencies need clear strategies and resources ready to keep roads and rails open. Energy companies must be able to respond rapidly to outages, especially in rural areas. Communication is vital. Timely, clear updates help everyone stay safe. At the community level, checking on vulnerable neighbors and organizing local support can make a huge difference. Simple acts, like having an emergency kit at home or in your car, can be lifesavers. Preparation is everyone's responsibility, from government to individuals. Small steps now can prevent big problems later. The winter of 2025-26 may look mild on paper, but the risks are real and unpredictable. Triple-dip La Niña, the polar vortex, and the jet stream all add uncertainty. Boston and New York's recent disasters show how quickly things can escalate. For the UK, being ready for the unexpected is non-negotiable. Preparation means robust national plans, strong community support, and personal readiness. We can't control the weather, but we can control our response. By learning from the past and working together, we can face winter with confidence. Whatever this season brings, preparation is our best defense.